So, I guess I'll start. You walked in and you started talking about Northwestern Ohio, and you said you were watching, and you said they look like they're a good team. You guys shot 50% from beyond the arc this past weekend. How confident are you feeling going into this Friday's game?
We've been shooting well all year, but that's unheard of. When you make 37 threes in 2 days, you're doing some great shooting. Now, is that going to keep up? Obviously, we hope so. We're going to keep shooting. So, you just don't know. But we're way more than that. We have guys that can get to the hole. We have some guys that we can rebound the backside out of that zone. So there's a lot of different things we can do. Shooting 3 points, we love it. We enjoy it. We want to keep doing it. But I don't think it just defines everything we can do.
This past weekend, it seems like, just looking at the box scores, that maybe rebounding was an issue because we don't have the Allen Heater anymore down low with that one guy that's going to stand above the rest. Is that maybe a concern moving forward this year? Because the offense, as far as shooting, doesn't look like it'll be a concern.
Yeah, the thing we're concerned about is the other team's offensive rebounding. The defensive rebound, we shoot at times when no one's around the hoop. So they're going to get a lot of defensive rebounds. It's only natural. When you play a speed game, you're coming up and you have 3 guys or 2 guys on one, you're firing a 3, or if you have 2 on 4, they're going to get a lot of defensive rebounds. What concerned me was the offensive rebounds. I think we corrected it a little bit the second. I don't know what the stats were on the second night, but what happens is we play a 2-2-1 zone with the middle man staying deep. We're real long on the wings. Most of the rebounds come on the opposite block or the front block. So you have to be strong on those wings getting inside position. We did some corrections, and I thought we did well the second game. I think we're going to be real good at that. Jalen Mann, one of the kids who's hurt, is excellent at it. TJ Lanier and Yondell Dennis can be very, very good at it. They can be very good at it. They have to make the decision how good they want to be at it. You need to get inside position. You need to work because it's a tough deal how we run it. It's not a standard 2-1-2 zone. It's a 2-2-1 with the wings being long. So I think rebound is going to be a concern of ours all year. If we do it, we're going to be real good. I really believe we could be real good. But
sort of a related thing to that, Coach, is the fact that you don't have any true big guys, but you prefer to have guards anyway, right? Tell us about. Would you rather have 5 guys out there who can go? 5
Well,
type of guard.
It creates a lot of different things. Let's say you're playing a team that has a very good big guy. Every time up the floor, we do something that's kind of unique, and I'll give you a little language. We have 4 rails and a rim. Okay, the rim can never dribble when he rebounds it. He looks for the hook. The hook is the guy who comes back to the ball. Now it could be any of the rails because the rails can dribble the ball up when they rebound it. Okay, so now you got 4 guys that when they rebound it, they can take off with the ball. You can never cross half court. So whatever side you're on is a rail. You run, the first guy goes to the corner, second guy goes, and even if the guy who's the hook, the hook gets the ball only if the rim runner gets the rebound, because he's not allowed to dribble, so the hook comes back. Everybody else is running. If a rail gets a rebound, well, there is no hook, because the rail is running with the ball. Okay? So what we do is with the big man as we're coming to the floor, we automatically pick the ball. So we're right into our offense with nobody around the hoop, 4 around with the big guy rolling to the hoop. And it creates a situation where their big guy has to take our point guard off of that first pick. It's very difficult for a big guy to stay in the game with us when we run it like that. And that's one of the reasons we do it. Or we could run 2 rim runners, and that'd really get to confusion.
Some of these guys are returners: Jeremy Williams, Yondell Dennis, TJ Lanier. We'll talk about them in a sec, but a new guy, Kelvin Goodwin, he's running the point. What does he bring as a super player?
2 things, really. He's our hook when the big guy gets the rebound. And he pushes the ball in a hurry. Last year we pushed the ball. Jeremy did a good job. Jeremy's more of a scoring point guard. Kelvin can score, but he could really push it. We're a little bit faster, I think, with Kelvin at the point. Although Jeremy could do it, he could be the hook. It's not a problem. But once we get the ball and go, and again, we use the hook on any out of bounds. So if they score, the guy comes back when we go. That's who goes and gets the ball. So he's the guy who's going to make us faster. He can get to the hoop. He can shoot. Jeremy is a great. He's like a little silent, deadly assassin. Like the other night, he had 30, and you'd never know it. You know what I'm saying? And they look for each other. This team likes each other. They like each other on. I don't know how it is off the court. It seems as if they do. It's, I don't know about that thing. But they do like each other on the court, which is even more important. They give the ball up to each other. They don't overpass. They know when to shoot. So things are going pretty well as far as like what we're trying to progress to.
How is Jeremy Williams adjusting to the off guard?
It's the same because, if we pass the ball to the wing, that's the point guard. It's so interchangeable. So if the point guard dribbles to the right, we come with the high pick. But if you pass to the wing, the high pick comes in. Really, there are no positions. We want to play people who are doing the best job. That's the offense. 4 around and just every time you pass, you pick away or follow the ball. It's nothing confusing. It's just it's really organized street ball. Spacing, 18-foot spacing.
Now, how about for the Kanate brothers, obviously just coming in this year? Lasana started both games this weekend for you. What did you see in him that made you want to put him in that starting 5?
Aggression early. Knew we had an idea to pick up some fouls. Then Fu comes in and he gets a few. They have to really, this is a learning process. They haven't played a lot, and they haven't played our system. So I'm real happy with them. You cannot teach aggression. They're aggressive guys. You're going to get fouls. So we're trying to get them out of foul trouble early. Obviously, you don't want the other team to be shooting foul shots one-on-ones. But they bring us something to the middle that's aggressive. They're very coachable. Their improvements since we had them, the last month and a half is just unbelievable. They're using their left. They're doing different things. But they still have to refine some of their game. And isn't that really the fun of this? Really.
What does Yondell Dennis bring to the table to your team? He's a guy who can do all kinds of different things.
He could be the guy. He could be the man. He could do a lot of different things. Yondell can take it to the hoop. He's strong. He can rebound that backside. His mental approach has to continue to get better. It's that simple. You have to have desire to be great. And that's, it's real easy. You have one job as a coach. To make a player, make the individual better, and make the team collectively better. Make you better as a team. That's it. If you can make the player better and make the team better, then you've accomplished everything. Because the player got good and the team is, the team is playing as a team. So Yondell is a guy who can really be instrumental. And he will be. He has a great approach this year. He has a great approach.
Same question, TJ Lanier, senior, coming back. What's he bring?
How good do you want to be? The whole idea is as good as you can be. Try to work as hard as you can, and TJ's going towards that goal. I think that he has to do some things in that situation where he knows to give maximum effort. Because anytime you have he's very talented, and he can do a lot of things. So effort really takes you to the next level. But he's working hard. He played the backside this weekend and rebounded, and I just see that he can become a better player, and I hope he can see that because that's the key. He has to see it.
Last year, 6-11 in conference, 11-14 overall, and you made a run. It was a fun one to watch, right, going to the conference finals. Are the goals this year a little different than last year? Because going in, there were a lot of question marks, but towards the end of the season, it really got going. What are kind of the goals going forward this year?
Win the national championship. That's our goal. It's always our goal. If we fall a little short, then we try to go to the national tournament. If we fall short of that, try to win the conference. But the goal has to be the same. That's what you try to do at the beginning. Every team should want to do that. And if you come up a little short, then you do it. But you can't. We're not shooting for just the playoffs. If it happens, we'd be delighted.
Is the team right there with you on that, with that mentality? Are they?
I doubt it. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know if everybody has that kind of mentality. You really can't teach it, but once you start, that's the goal. The goal should be to try to achieve as much as you can achieve. Sometimes it's easier for a coach to say that, but that's really how you have to approach it. It's not arrogant or egotistical. It's reality. You'd like to win the national championship. Can we do it? I don't know. We're 2-0.
You're picked 4th overall in the KIAC, 3rd in your division. Where do you think you'll fall within the conference, or where do you think you'd be?
We're gonna have to play hard to be good in that conference. I don't know any numbers of where we're gonna be, but if it's a conference, it's a strong men's basketball conference. I'm sure there's a lot of strong women's teams also, but from the men's standpoint, this is a strong conference. I think it sort of ranks right up there with the AMC, which was a real strong conference we were in a few years ago. But there's a lot of teams that have a lot of talent. They emphasize basketball, and that's perfect. That's just where we want to be. I mean, if we were going to win every game, it wouldn't be much fun.
And for Jalen Mann, you said he was injured. How severe is the injury, and when should we expect to see him back?
He shot yesterday. With a foot. We talked to the trainers, obviously, but an ankle can come back a little quicker than a foot. But whenever the trainers say he's able to go, but a foot could be different. You just don't know. You just don't know. And they'll know. We have this. Like every other coach. It's sort of cliche, but it's real. Somebody else has to just do it. That's it. Next guy up.
Jalen Manza, as we're on the topic of him, a transfer player this year. What does he bring to the table?
Brings a lot. He can shoot. He can take it to the hoop. He has a great attitude. He's strong. He's probably our strongest backside rebounder. Although, like I said, Yondell and TJ, they're fast. They're approaching that same type of mentality now. So it's a good situation. He also brings it, we're competitive. Practices, our scrimmages are competitive in practice. We have 10 or 11 guys that are really going at it and have a really, I feel, a good amount of talent. That's why we brought him in.
And you're talking about the depth, the player we haven't even talked about yet. He made 14 threes or so this past weekend. Saeed Allen, just a deadly shooter off the bench. What do you like out of him?
The result of hard work. It just outworks. He just works and works and works. Doesn't care what his role is. He'll play any role we ask him to do. Becomes the work every day. He understands it. He knows he's going to become as good as he can be. And like I said, that's the goal with every player. You try to coach them so they can be as good as they can be.
We've talked about a lot of individual players today. Overall, who's really stepped up so far in the practices in the first couple games as the true leader? Because there's a lot of seniors and veterans coming back.
I don't know. I don't know if we, I think that if everybody's working hard, sometimes the leader thing is overrated. You only need a leader when people are laying down. These guys come to work. Everybody's kind of the leader. They haven't really seen that on the court so far. It's just too early to tell. But everybody's unselfish. Everybody moves the ball. I think there's a lot of strong personalities. I'm not sure you need a leader in this situation. You can go down 9 guys. Any one of them could be a leader. 10 guys. That's just the way it is. They understand what it takes to work. Some of the seniors really know this is it, and that's what you want to see early. It's your last year. Do what you got to do.
You're entering your 27th year. Does it feel like it's been 27 years? And what's changed since you started here?
It feels like it's 27. No doubt about that. It feels like it's in that hotel room by the airport in Buffalo the other night. It felt 27. But no, it's coaching is the same. I got a good assistant too. You got to remember it. Gabe knows what's going on. This isn't somebody just hanging around. This is a guy who can coach anywhere. So that's part of staying. That's part of being able to last 27 years. You got to have a good guy next to you, and it's you never know. Every year you take it the same way. This year I got a little excited a little later than I usually do. We had a good recruiting class. That always makes you excited. So every year you evaluate it. One of the things you can't do, and I would never do, is you have to be excited because that's what you owe the players. So I still have it. I'm unhappy. I can still get unhappy.
Going back to the depth situation, have you had this type of depth in recent years? I mean, last year you played practically the starting 5 the whole championship game, and the year before only 5 guys. Being able to go 8, 9 deep, what does that do to your team?
Creates discipline.
This year.
Creates discipline. That's all it does. If you don't want to be one of them, stand aside and let somebody else in there. Sometimes the coach who gets so wrapped up in winning games that you play 5 or 6 guys and you just can't give anybody else any more time. So those 5 or 6 guys know that they're the 5 or 6 guys. sometimes that could work against you. When you have 9 or 10 guys that play, first 5 people playing are getting the most minutes. They understand that, hey, I got to earn these minutes. I got to keep these minutes, or somebody else is on my tail. It's a good situation. I mean, our practices are real competitive, but not. We don't do any of the talking and all the nonsense because we're a team. But they're really competitive, and it's teaching them a lot of different things.
Are there any spots in that starting lineup that are secure that they definitely would start no matter what?
You know, just we're just going to go with what we have. You know, and right now we were starting Jalen and we were starting Kelvin and Jeremy, TJ, Yondell, and Lusana. That's a good group. But I could interchange some names in there easily. You know, it's very easy to interchange those names. So I don't think I put too much emphasis on that. It's who's ever working. You know, who's ever going to come and do what we. You know, we have a tough system running. You have to be running at all times. You can't jog up the floor when you're playing that high-powered offense. You can't do it. You have to sprint. So you know, some of that'll dictate who gets minutes. And we're going to be going.